We got a packed house here. It's nice to see everybody supporting their government in action. Let me just, so legislative day number 1 will now come to order. Let's take a moment of silent meditation, and as we do, I would ask everyone to join me in thinking and sharing in our thoughts the life and legacy of President Jimmy Carter, and also, if you wouldn't mind, also thinking about the families and victims in the New Orleans terrorist attack. And we've got some really profound things to think about. So if you'll join me. Oh, and Councilman Marks reminds me there's a third family we want to think about. This person left a remarkable legacy on Baltimore County, and that's the family of Ed Gillis, who sadly passed away recently. So let's think about these three giants, and also the two giants, I'm mistaken, and also the families of New Orleans victims. Okay, thank you very much. So have a seat, everyone. No, everybody stand back up. Okay, we'll sit down and stand up again. No, Councilman Crandall, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, sir. Yeah. I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now everybody can sit down. Thank you all very much. So we've got a number of elected officials that are here today, and so I'm going to acknowledge those elected officials. But before we do, we've got such a packed group here for a special occasion today. I just want to see like which part of Baltimore County is represented this afternoon. So if you are from, first we're going to do this. I'm going to warn everybody what we're doing. We're going to do an east side make some noise and a west side make some noise. So if you live on the east side, and I got a feeling, I'm going to know who's going to win here. If you live on the east side, at the count of 3, I want you to make some noise. You ready? East side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Councilman Young, Councilman Jones, we got some work to do here to get our west side jazzed up. Okay, you ready, west side? On 3. 1, 2, 3. West side, make some noise. Yay, yay. Okay, we've got some work to do on east side, west side.
Center.
Oh, center. Councilman Cash, he's correct. If you live in central Baltimore County, at the count of 3, make some. Wait in, Jessica. Okay, we've got a lot of work to do on the west side.
Mr. Chairman, I just have to clarify something. You said government inaction. Is inaction one word or two?
Oh, no. 2 words. 2 words. Okay, if I could just take a moment to ask the elected officials to stand, and I'll try to call out everyone that I see. I'm going to start on this side. I also know we have central committee members. I'm going to try to call them out as well. So I see Delegate Harry Bondari over here. Let's give Harry some love. Delegate Carl Jackson. Delegate Nick Allen. And we have Central Committee members Lauren Noel. Chuck, and Chuck, your last name is not Cropfeld. Chuck, I always know you as Chuck. Shannon Sheets. Reese Peak. Wave your hand, Reese. Connor White. And last but not least, the effervescent Kim Ross. thank you all for joining us today. And,
He said there's some former elected officials.
okay, and we also have people that have served the county in the past that are former elected officials, and to kind of ask you guys to stand so we can acknowledge you. Okay, we have a very important person there, Johnny Olszewski Sr. Thank you for your service. And Senior, you were really loud on that east side, west side, Jen. I noticed that. Yes. Anyone else? Is Senator Casemeyer here? There he is. And Senator Collins is here. And our Director of Planning, Steve Lafferty's a former elected official. Okay. Do we have any wannabe elected officials in the audience? Okay. We won't ask you to stand. Okay. I will now ask the secretary to conduct the election. Oh, is Pete Hammond here? Pete Hammond. Hey, Pete, nice to see you. PJ Hogan, where's PJ? And of course, we do have Senator Klausmeier, but we're going to put her on the down low for right now. We have something coming up. Okay. I'll now ask the secretary, Mr. Thomas Boswick, to conduct the election for the office of chair for Baltimore County Council for 2025.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman and members of the council, pursuant to Section 302A of the county charter, the council at its first regular session of the calendar year is required to elect from its membership by a majority vote a chairperson who shall preside at all meetings of the county council. I will now ask for nominations from the council members for the office of chair of the Baltimore County Council for the calendar year 2025.
Mr. Chair. It is my pleasure to nominate Councilman Ertel for the position of her chair. I'd also like to thank our outgoing chair, Izzy Patoka, and his predecessor, Julian Jones, for the collaborative work they have brought to the council. I think that Councilman Ertel and I are the only two council members who have ever run against each other. Then as now, I've respected his work ethic, his sense of moderation, and his ability to build relationships across his community. Bipartisanship is never a dirty word on the Baltimore County Council. It is a hallmark of good government, and I know that as chair, Councilman Ertel will demonstrate that spirit of collegiality and consensus building.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. I'm going to second that, and I'll open the floor for discussion if any of the members want to comment.
Well,
Jones?
Well, I'll be the third in nomination, since we had a first and a second, but I think Councilman Ertel has demonstrated an ability to learn fast and pick up and has a firm understanding of government, and I think his priorities are very well suited in terms of increasing our economy and making sure Baltimore County is a good place for everybody to live and grow and in jobs. So I look forward to nominating for as a third person.
Okay. Do we have a fourth nomination? Councilman Randall?
Not necessarily sure that we need a fourth, Mr. Chairman. However, Councilman Ertel, I haven't been on the bad end of a 6-to-1 vote in a long time, and I'm kind of feeling like you should maybe today might be that time, and Senator Klausmeier is like, what in the world is Crandall talking about? But Councilman Ertel, I think that in the 2 years that we've worked together, you have proven to me to be someone who really takes time to understand issues. Everything that you think about is really community focused and not necessarily politically focused. and you approach things in a collaborative way, and I'll look forward to serving with you as the chair of the county council for the next year. And Councilman Patoka, good job this past year, and it's always been a pleasure working with you, sir, as well.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any additional comments? Okay, hearing none, we take a roll call vote. Oh, what? Now I've got some things to say. I didn't know if I say them now or if I say them after Mike is in place, but I'll go ahead and say them now so Mike can hit the floor running. So, Councilman Ertel, I just want to say you've been an outstanding council member. You are a person of extremely high integrity. Unlike many people in our business, there's no alternate or agenda with Councilman Ertel. What he says to you is what he means. He speaks from the heart. He's a person that has, not only is respected in neighborhoods, but is respected here on the dais with his colleagues. And I'll say we have done some things over your 2 years in the council have been remarkable, Councilman Ertel. Just think back, when you first came in, you and Councilman Young, one of the first pieces of legislation we worked on was the Bring Your Own Bag Act. And I can tell you, in the line of work we're in, it's not very often you can look back and say, wow, we made a difference. But I can tell you, Councilman Ertel, when I go to the grocery store, everybody's bringing their own bags. I don't know what the experience is here. When I do a stream cleanup, and I know, Councilman Ertel, you fill your weekends with stream cleanups, we don't find plastic bags in streams anymore. In a year, 2 years ago, there'd be nothing but plastic bags, mountains of plastic bags in our streams, in our waterways. The other thing, look at our tree canopy. It used to be that our winter tree canopy was plastic bags. And now in the winter, I challenge you to look outside and you won't see plastic bags as part of our tree canopy in the winter. And you were an incredible part of that, Councilman Ertel. And then over the past year in adopting the master plan and expanding the Baltimore County Council to give women and minority and people of color opportunity that didn't exist in the past, that along with public finance is going to be a tremendous advantage. And you were critical to that, Councilman Ertel. The adequate public facilities ordinance, that we couldn't have done it without your efforts. Protecting the office of the Inspector General. We couldn't have done that without you, Councilman Ertel, or my other colleagues here. And the reason I say these things is because anybody can have a good idea. We all have good ideas. In the work we're in, if you have a good idea, then how do you muster 4 votes to support that good idea? And that is the challenge of the work we do here. I know my state colleagues have a different set of mathematics that they use, but the challenge is how do you transform a good idea into legislation and successful legislation that we can look back and say, hey, we made a real difference. And Councilman Ertel, the things that I've mentioned, and there's more to come, are things that you have been a critical piece of. You've either sponsored the legislation, you've been a co-sponsor, or you've helped to whip votes on it, or you came up with ideas that would make the legislation more palatable to the majority of members so we could get 4 votes on it. And so I applaud you for that. I look forward to working with you over the next year to do equally important legislation. And I think we can do it. I'm really proud of and enjoy working with my colleagues here because this is, I've only been on the council, this is my 2nd term, but this council is incredibly thoughtful. Even when we disagree with good intent, with different perspectives on the issue, and then we try to come up with 4 votes. Hopefully, we try to come up with a unanimous vote, which I feel like we will later on today, this afternoon. But Councilman Ertel, you're an outstanding person, and you've been an outstanding council member, and I'm confident that you'll be an outstanding chair of this governing body.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And with that, if there are no other comments, I would ask the secretary to call roll.
All right, I will now call the roll on the nomination of Councilman Ertel as chair of the Baltimore County Council, starting with the maker of the motion. Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
An enthusiastic yes.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay, now I've got to move out of the big chair here.
Yes, I have something for you, Chair. So to commemorate your service as our chair this year, and you kind of talked about this already, but we really did some historic things this year. APFO was a big bill, but expanding the council, picking a new county executive who everybody will find out very soon, if you don't already know. But you did a great job, and we all appreciated all the hard work you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you guys for squeezing together. Come on, just squeeze in like we like each other. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming, too. Thank you, Julie.
There we go. What's that?
Okay. Well, thank you. It's a little awkward in front of 200 people, but thank you. So we will move on with the meeting because I know everybody's here not to hear our meeting really, but we have a very special occasion in front of us tonight, but we have to get through our brief meeting. So is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of December 16th, 2024?
Sorry.
Second?
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the journal is approved. And then we have enrollments of bills, bills 10124, 10224, 10324, and 10424 were passed by the council, signed by the county executive, and are hereby enrolled. Mr. Secretary, will you now read bills for introduction?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I can find it. Bill 1-25 is sponsored by Councilman Marks, zoning regulations, uses permitted in the BMM zone, marina storage shipping containers, and Bill 2-25, also sponsored by Councilman Marks, zoning regulations, farm markets, accessory carry-out restaurant.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Secretary, Bill 425, could you describe that one again, please?
225?
The resolution, I'm sorry.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that point yet, sir.
Oh, you haven't introduced resolutions yet? Okay.
No, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Council will now consider all fiscal matters. Mr. Secretary, the first item, please.
We have one fiscal matter this afternoon, Mr. Chairman, one contract, or actually two contracts for commissioning services for county-owned facilities.
And I think we have Ms. Deb Schindel to testify. Ms. Schindel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. A little more intimidating.
Good afternoon, Councilman Chair, and congratulations, and members of the County Council. Thank you for having me this afternoon. The administration is requesting an approval of a contract with RMF Engineering and Bowman Consulting Group, LTD, to provide commissioning of services for various Baltimore County facilities. The goal of the commissioning process is to assist the county in defining performance-based project requirements, provide safe and healthy facilities, to improve energy performance and minimize consumption and reduce operating costs, to ensure adequate county staffing, orientation, and training to the improve facilities documentation. The contracts shall provide commissioning service for both new construction and facilities that we already own. This was a competitive bid where we are utilizing another contract for Carroll County. It was chosen for best qualified, best value, and experience. The contract estimate is $307,985.32 over the life of the contract. I'm willing to take any questions if you have any.
Are there any questions from the members? None? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Schindel. Is there a motion to approve fiscal matter 1?
So move.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matter 1.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
It was quick and effective. We will now consider miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please. Thank you, Ms. Schindel.
First, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 1-25 to accept a conditional gift, Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, to the Regional Auto Theft Task Force. Resolution number, this is for introduction only this evening or this afternoon. Resolution 2-25, Department of Planning Small Area Plan Process, also for introduction only this afternoon. Resolution 3-25 to amend the Baltimore County Water Supply and Sewerage Plan, Cycle 42, also for introduction only this afternoon. Resolution 4-25, sponsored by Councilman Marks and Councilman Crandall, to encourage the Maryland General Assembly to reject beer and wine sales in grocery stores, for introduction only. And finally, Resolution 5-25, also sponsored by Councilman Marks, to encourage the Maryland General Assembly to support passage of legislation to amend reserve fund mandates for Maryland condominium associations, for introduction only.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that catch, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think we're all here tonight for this next item, and I've been given a very lengthy narrative to read into the docket, so I will do that. So pardon me for having to read this, but before we begin, I'd like to make some comments regarding this process. Although the search for the next county executive did not begin officially until after the election on November 5th, the council began to make preparations before then. We planned a process that would be transparent, inclusive, and fair to the candidates. While the county charter requires the county council to elect a county executive when there is a vacancy, we did not undertake this task in a vacuum. Instead, we opened up the process to anyone who was interested in the office of county executive and met the qualifications. We posted the job announcement on our website during the month of November and invited applications from all. We also welcomed comments from the public via email and held a virtual and in-person public hearing on December 10th to hear what qualities and attributes county residents wanted in their next county executive. Following the public hearing, we narrowed the field of applicants down to 5 finalists. We asked each of the candidates to address 8 topics and questions that we believed were important to county residents going forward. These topics included the county budget, public safety, education, economic development, housing, regionalism, government operations, and leadership. As we all heard from the public interviews on December 16th, each candidate brought impressive credentials and varied backgrounds to their presentations and responses to these topics. Each of us on the council reviewed the candidates' applications, reviewed emails, and heard testimony of county residents. And we listened to presentations by the candidates themselves to get where we are this afternoon. I want to conclude my remarks by saying my colleagues and I on this council have taken our duty of electing the next county executive and charting the course of Baltimore County for the next 2 years very seriously. We recognize the importance of our selection, and we appreciate the efforts of the candidates, the public, and staff during the process. And we were very fortunate, I think, in that everyone who applied, we had a really deep talent pool, and it was heartening, I think, to all of us that people stepped up and wanted to do this. So without further ado, I will now ask the secretary to conduct the election for the office of county executive. And you'll take it from there, Secretary, correct?
Sir. Mr. Chairman and members of the council, pursuant to Section 402B of the county charter, whenever for any cause the office of Baltimore County Executive shall become vacant, the same shall be filled by the affirmative vote of a majority of the total number of county council members established by this charter. The person so elected by the council shall possess the same qualifications for the office as provided in Section 402A of the charter, shall belong to the same political party as their predecessor, and shall serve the unexpired term of their predecessor and until a successor shall qualify. Following the resignation of former County Executive John A. Osefsky, Jr., effective on January 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m., there now exists a vacancy in the office of Baltimore County Executive. I will now ask for nominations from the council members for the office of County Executive to serve the remainder of the current term.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to nominate Senator Kathy Klausmeier for county executive. I'm going to take a little while because I do think that a lot of you need to know her background and the way she's conducted herself in her life and in the state legislature. I had the honor of serving with her for 20 years in the state legislature. And by the way, I'm very happy to see my former colleagues here today. I'm sure you all came to see me, and I appreciate it very much, and was overwhelmed. Before I get into reasons why Kathy is, I think, highly qualified for this job, let me just say that, we hear from constituents, not mine, but we hear from constituents many times that they don't like their choices in elections, and they end up voting for the lesser of two evils or whatever. I just want you to know that the people who applied for this job were highly qualified people. And it wasn't the easiest decision. I'm not going to name them because I'll probably forget one, but they all come with a great deal of experience and a lot to offer our county. In fact, some of them have said if they aren't chosen, they would like to help. And I'm sure that Kathy is open to that. I just have one question for Kathy. Where'd you go to elementary school? Elementary school, where'd you go? St. Joseph's, okay. I read her biography. She grew up in Perry Hall. This is where she spent her whole life. And it has a list of the schools she attended, but not her elementary school. So that's why. St. Joseph's, I think that's in Fullerton. Correct, okay. And then she went to the Catholic high school. Then, of Baltimore. As opposed
In
to
the
what?
city.
No, never mind. Okay. The Catholic High School of Baltimore. I was going to say she went to all these county schools, and I found out that Catholic high schools in the city. I didn't know that. And then she went to Community College of Baltimore County, where she got her AA degree, and then Towson State University, which is we have an ongoing joke about that because I went to Towson State as well, and they devoted an issue to alumni of Towson University. They had both our pictures on the front, only we didn't graduate from Towson. We just attended Towson. So, we're on with all these graduates, not us. We weren't graduates. So anyhow, I met Kathy in 1994. I don't know if she remembers, but I happened to file for reelection to the House of Delegates the same day that Kathy walked in to file for House of Delegates, 1994. I didn't know her. She didn't know me, but it was a real pleasure meeting her. And at the time, she looked as if she maybe didn't quite know what she was doing, but I think she's learned now. Absolutely learned now. She served she was elected in 1994, served 8 years. She was on the Environmental Matters Committee. I can remember in the House chamber, she sat in back of me and I had to go, you vote yes, you vote no. I did that for 8 years. So it's not true, but it sounds good. Sounds good. Although I did do that with some people in committee at times. I don't know, Pete, if you know that or not, but so anyhow, the Environmental Matters Committee, which I think gives her a lot of experience with some issues that we have before the county, and that deals with the issues of flooding and the contamination in our reservoirs, et cetera, et cetera. So that experience will serve her well in this job. The other thing that she was elected to the Senate in 2002, served on the Finance Committee the entire time, is the vice chair of that committee. She was president pro tempore of the Senate, and then became, as I said, vice chair of the Finance Committee. Finance Committee is similar in many ways to the Health and Government Operations Committee of the House of Delegates, in that we handle a lot of health insurance issues. And we all know, if you read the papers or read the fiscal projections for Baltimore County, that providing health insurance is very expensive. And we need to make sure that we continue to provide health insurance for our employees and retirees. And I know I learned on HGO, and I'm sure she's learned on finance, there are ways to save money and not compromise coverage. Prior to running for office, Kathy was the PTA president of Gunpowder Elementary, I believe twice, isn't that? Yeah, twice. And then she was on the Education Committee of the League of Women Voters, and which brings me to one of the issues that I'm very concerned about, and I know she is too, and that is our schools. in Baltimore County. If we expect to be a successful, vibrant county, we've got to have good schools. When people are looking for new locations for their businesses or looking to expand businesses, one of the things they look at is to see how good the schools are. And we're having our struggles, but I think that we do have the right superintendent in place. And we have seen some improvement, which makes me feel good. Now, the other thing that she mentioned when she announced for county executive, that her primary concern was public safety. And I share that opinion with her. Public safety is our most important issue. It is the main job, responsibility of government to make sure that we do have safe neighborhoods, safe communities. And Kathy believes that as well and will work for that. I'm certain that if you take a look at our communities in Baltimore County where there's some challenges, you'll find that the schools are challenged as well. So, these are areas that she's interested in, that we all are interested in. So, anyhow, I appreciate that. And just one more thing, I've been told 30 seconds by my colleague from Kate.
Councilman Young's getting ready to give you the hook.
You weren't supposed to say it.
And he was in the legislature for 8 years, and I know there's a lot of long-winded people there, right? Yeah.
Not you.
Not you, sir, no.
So anyhow, I just want to say that Kathy is known in her community as a very hard worker, because she is. She's a person that cares about her constituents, no doubt about it. And again, without any reservation, I nominate Kathy Klausmeyer for County Executive of Baltimore County. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Koch. Do we have a second?
Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, I have a long list of notes here, so I will be not quite as long as my colleague, Councilman Koch, but I will second the nomination. And that's it.
Are there any other comments from my colleagues before we proceed? Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. I also would like to thank all those who requested that they be considered for this position, as well as the many Baltimore Countyans who offered testimony or provided written comments. We were blessed with 5 finalists who have superb qualities. I wish we could somehow create a county executive who candidly has Jim Brochen's independence, or Yara Sheikh's passion and idealism, Kathy Klausmeyer's long service in state government, George Pertikakis' expertise in construction, or Barry Williams' history of service in our schools and communities. All 5 fine individuals. We salute and thank all of these men and women. The county charter requires that the interim county executive be of the same political party as their predecessor. Regardless, I am glad that all 5 of these candidates mentioned their commitment to leading the county cooperatively with county council members of both parties. The overwhelming number of people who testified before the council and provided input through emails or letters recognize that Baltimore County's political diversity is a strength, and that we must put the extremes aside to do what is best for the people we represent. I'd also like to thank DeAndrea Walker, our County Administrative Officer, for the steady hand she has shown over the past few days and for her service.
Mr. Chair?
And not quite done, okay. And of course, I'd like to congratulate Senator Kathy Klausmeyer, who I have known for 30 years, for her historic elevation to the position of county executive. It is historic not just because Senator Klausmeyer becomes the first woman sworn in as county executive, but if I could share some local pride, also the first resident of Perry Hall to become Baltimore County Executive. That's worth some applause. Senator Klausmeier has provided exceptional service to those she has represented and leaves a profound legacy of accomplishment. In my mind, there are 4 urgent priorities for our new county executive. First, promote a culture that values public safety, beginning with first responders. Second, tackle the budget challenges we face. Third, finish existing public works and park projects. And fourth, fix Baltimore County's permitting system. As I said last month, we have stormy weather ahead. It will take a team working together to navigate the storm. I again thank the exceptional group of men and women who expressed interest in this position, and I think I speak for everyone in hoping for calm, deliberative, bipartisan partnership with our new county executive over the next 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilman Crandall, did you have comments as well?
You can go ahead now, follow.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Councilman Patoka. I'm going to try to be brief because I think we're all anxious to hear from Senator Klausmeier. I do have a recollection of a few years ago, and I think I share this with Councilman Katz, Jones, and Marks. This is the second time that this body has had to pick a new county executive in the middle of a term, or at least part of their term. And unfortunately, the first time was due to the untimely passing of then County Executive Kevin Kamenetz. So in looking at this opportunity and reflecting upon it, it is a true blessing to be a member of this body and being able to have the opportunity to choose someone to guide Baltimore County for the next 2 years. And I think that I can echo the comments of my colleagues who have talked about the candidates who have offered to be of service to Baltimore County. Each of them had significant merits and experience and a lot to bring to the table. And I think each of them also understood the almost daunting task of running county government. It's a big job. It's a big budget. There are a lot of personalities on this council to deal with, a lot of opposing agendas on this council to deal with. And I found and heard about Senator Klausmeier that she has the respect of her colleagues in the General Assembly and in the community, and someone that can work with all of us, all of our agencies, the entire Baltimore County Council. That is her reputation, and that is why I am very happy to cast my support for Senator Klausmeier this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I just want to first congratulate Senator Klausmeier. Thank you for putting your hat in the ring and your name in the ring and going through with the process. And I want to just comment a little bit about the process. We didn't have any precedent for how do we fill a county executive vacancy with 2 years left on the term. And so I do want to acknowledge the work, commitment as to how we got to this point. And at this point, I'd like to also acknowledge the belief that we went through an appropriate process just by the number of people that are here as we come to the next phase, and that's the installation of Senator Klausmeier. But I want to acknowledge, certainly, I want to acknowledge the staff, Tom Boswick, Secretary, Adam Phillips, Chris Belcastro, because the process, it had to be one of great integrity from when we first began the process until this point when we're all here to celebrate Senator Klausmeier's installation. And there are incredible vulnerabilities along that path. And fortunately, we had great candidates that applied. We had a process that was one of integrity. And so we came to this point. I just want to acknowledge that none of this happened by magic. There was critical thinking that went into it, and that that we have come to a really fine resolution, and just want to thank everybody who's been a participant in it, and thank everyone who is here today to be part of this process. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Patoka. Councilman Young?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't want to belabor the point that's been made about the wealth of talent and commitment that we had in the candidates that's put their names up to be considered for county executive. It is a daunting task to even try to consider and go through a process of engaging with the 7 of us throughout an entire process in half of a year, and then work our way to this point. So thank you for your willingness to fight for Baltimore County and your continued participation. Also, I will also reiterate the thanks to Ms. DeAndrea Walker for serving in your capacity. I've heard nothing but positive comments about the snow removal over the last 2 years. Senator Klausmeier, I just want to point out, for me, the juxtaposition of being here. I met you 10 years ago when I was elected to the House of Delegates, and your reputation preceded you before getting there. And while we and folks, I think, can also identify with the idea of someone has a reputation and you're not sure if they're approachable or if they're someone that you can work with or you're not sure how to start a relationship, it became very clear and easy how to do that, and that was to just sit with you and talk. You always had an open ear. You always were willing to discuss issues. And you may not remember this, but after work, around the dinners that were set up for legislators, someone came in talking about a piece of legislation they knew was coming to your committee, and you had an ear, you listened, you were supportive, and then when they walked away afterwards, you're like, I don't think that's going to go very far. And asking you why, your wealth of experience, you were able to point out what you saw, the pitfalls that they didn't see as a new legislator, and were willing also to share with me as a young person what those pitfalls were, and whether you knew it or not, making sure and also educating me on what to do and what not to do. You've built a reputation with your community, with your constituency, and with other legislators, to the point that now we sit in this position able to appoint you at the end, at this point in your career, that is noteworthy in itself, that you are poised and in the right place at the right time to serve us for the next 2 years as the county executive and to guide us through the next, I would say, the challenge that we'll collaborate with together and extend my hand of friendship and participation and collaboration. No matter what, we can work together and solve our problems for the next 2 years, and look forward to that continued collaboration from the legislature to here and into the future. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman Young. Councilman Jones, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Real briefly, I too want to thank all the candidates who came forth and stepped up and put themselves out there. It's not easy to step up and ask to be chosen for county executive or any other elected position. Of course, I want to thank Ms. DeAndrea Walker. You've done a fantastic job as Chief Administrative Officer, to which you will continue, as well as County Executive for that brief period of time. You've been a steady force here in the county government, and we certainly appreciate your knowledge and ability and all the things you bring to the position. Senator Klausmeier, I appreciate you stepping up. You have had a distinguished career serving the people of Baltimore County for many years, and your skills and relationships in the General Assembly will be a major asset as we address the daunting challenges ahead, from aging infrastructure to projected budget deficits and uncertainty in Washington, D.C. My county council colleagues and I will continue to be vigilant partners as we collaboratively address these tasks. All of us dedicated to public service need to roll up our sleeves and get this work done. So congratulations, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Jones.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I'm going to fill in for Councilman Patoka here.
Oh, wow.
Because I was expecting a remark about making history, because every time that you bring up the fact that the council has made history over the last couple of years, it seems to be bills that I voted against. So,
Councilman Crandall, this is going to be the first time you're on the right side of history.
So, touche. We will today not only say goodbye to the first African-American woman who has served as county executive, not saying goodbye, just moving, you're just going to change your desk for the next couple of years. And then obviously the council unanimously electing the first woman county executive in Baltimore County history. So I think that's just something special that we should acknowledge. I was expecting Councilman Toka with his sense of history to bring that up, so I thought I'd fill in for you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. So I guess I'll have the last word here before we vote. This is kind of special for me as well, in the sense that most of my district borders Senator Klausmeyer's district. And when I won my primary, I think her first words to me were, "Are you sure you wanted to get into this?" And and one of the things that Senator Klausmeyer has taught me in these 2 short years, she really sets the standard for us on the east side of the county in the 8th district. And I know my colleagues, Delegate Bundari, Allen, Jackson, the Central Committee as well. Kathy is really kind of our matriarch, and she sets the standard for showing up, for being there for the little guy, for being kind of a family. And one of the things that's special about this crowd today, there's a lot of people who have served the county, who have been part of the county. And one of the things you quickly realize when you become involved in Baltimore County as a leader is that we are one big family. We're one big county. We might be geographically diverse in that we have the waterfront in the east side, we have North County, we have Catonsville, we have Towson, Dundalk. We're very diverse as a county, but we're one county. And I think one of the things that we all felt when we were voting is that Senator Klausmeyer, soon to be County Executive Klausmeyer, can lead this family and make sure that we continue to do all the things that we need to do. So with that, I will ask the secretary to call the roll.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I will now call the roll on the nomination of Catherine A. Klausmeyer for the office of County Executive. There's been a motion and a second. Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The nomination is unanimously approved. Congratulations, Madam County Executive Klausmeyer.
Madam County Exec, can you come up front with, we have the Deputy Clerk of the Court, Craig Moskovitz as well, but I think are we gonna have comments first, Mr. Secretary?
Comments?
Or swearing in first?
Swearing in.
Swearing in. So Deputy Clerk Moskovitz, we need you up here.
Okay, if you want to raise your right hand and repeat after me, I,
I,
please state your full name,
Catherine A. Klossmeyer,
do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will
and that I will
be faithful
be faithful,
and bear true allegiance
bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support
and support
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of
execute the office of
County Executive for Baltimore County.
County Executive of Baltimore County.
According to the Constitution
According to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and the laws of this state.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you want to sign. So you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Or is it evening yet? No, not quite, not quite. Anyway, I am thrilled and honored to be here and humbled and every other word I can think of. I want to thank my family and my friends for all being here, and some came from very far, and I see them waving and all. And Annie, you made it. I'm so glad you did. Okay. I want to thank Councilman Chair Mike Ertel, as well as former Council Chair Patoka and the members of the council for the confidence they have placed in me on behalf of the residents of Baltimore County. To our county government employees and our first responders, many of whom worked hard over the past 24 hours. And thank you for having the roads cleared so everyone could get here today safely. But in the cold temperatures, and they responded to our first significant snowstorm event of the season, I want to thank all of you for what you do every day. I am committed to working with you to move the county forward. We have a big job ahead of us. We all know that, working together over the next 2 years to make sure we balance our budget, to keep our AAA bond rating, improve public safety, and in every community, and to continue to invest in our public school facilities and recreations and parks, and the arts. Just so you know, there's more to life than sports. I hate to say it. Now, I don't hate to say it, but, you know, go Ravens too, so. But at the same time, we must continue to grow our economy, create jobs, address the county's housing shortage, and make government services more streamlined and efficient. And that goes for permitting, especially. I have a strong record of working across the party and jurisdictional lines and building partnerships and consensus on tough issues. And I look forward to putting that experience to good use as a county executive to benefit Baltimore County and the region. I also look forward to engaging residents throughout our county to make sure we remain focused on core priorities and concerns of our residents, and I can't express that enough. I want to hear from our residents and work with all of them and use my ears to listen. Very important to me. Our work will begin in earnest tomorrow morning as I begin meeting with our leadership team and key staff. We have much to do in the next 23 months, and I fully expect this transition phase will be brief and productive. Thank you again to the Baltimore County Council for your trust and confidence in me and all the dedicated county employees who show up every day on behalf of our residents. I want to thank Deandra for charting my course over the past 2 days. She's been great, so let me hear it for her. And again, I would just like to thank all the members of the County Council, and I look forward to reaching across that aisle and working with each and every one of you and becoming very focused, and you have my phone number and you know where I'll be. So thank you all very much, and if I didn't thank someone, I am very sorry about that, and I just thank okay, I would like my grandchildren to stand up and we have Juliana with one N, we have Elizabeth, we have James, and what is your name? I forget. Alex. So, and the rest of my family, they're sitting right up here. So I appreciate all the support they've given me. And Annie, she's back there. So, and Annie, I have to say, is the best Democrat I could have ever asked for in my whole life. For years, she's told me that. So thank you all very, very much for coming. This means so much, and I see so many of my friends out there. And thank you, thank you, thank you. What else can I say? It's a happy day. Okay. Okay. All right. We're done?
Thank you, Madam County Executive.
Mr. Chairman? Yes, I would like to thank our county executive who's now gone to Congress for the job that he's done, that he did for 6 years as county executive. I sat next to him for 8 years in the House of Delegates, and very proud of the job that he did. And I hope that he does the same kind of job in Congress. And again, Kathy, congratulations.
I would, and I said I knew I'd forget somebody. People to forget, but our past county executive, Johnny O. And we became good friends while we were in the legislature together and did some great things there. So he led the way for me. And so I'm going to do great things for Baltimore County. So there we go. Okay.
We're going to invite it up to the office. Yeah, you want to do a picture now?
You want a picture?
County Executive, want to come up and we'll do.
We want to adjourn?
Let's get the picture.
Picture.
Okay.
No, she's coming up. She's coming up here. She's coming up right here.
Thank you. I tried to lean over, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was telling her what to say. So appreciate this.
Well,
No, I got you.
Welcome to the dais.
I had it coming up.
Move that chair. Move your chair. Okay. Look, we did that first. I'm sure that worked.
What?
And I was talking.
On the right side. You set me up. That's the right side. I don't get good ones in very often. I'm batting like the load them and says a lot.
So am I on this? All right, how do we? All right, Steve.
Where am I?
You're in the middle.
Okay.
All right.
You're going to squeeze in until we look awkward. All right.
Good.
If everybody could text me that picture, please.
I got married. No, walking up the aisle here.
What a crowd. We say you have more nerves when you got married?
It was just like when I got married, when I had to walk up the aisle. It was like,
I know. Do you mean to just try to do it now?
Bang the gavel. Bang the gavel.
okay. Any other brothers?
I'm just going to ask for further business and we're going to adjourn.
Take a vote to adjourn. Call for a motion.
Order in the court.
Excuse us, everyone. Everyone, attention. Stand by.
Mr. Secretary.
Quiet.
Let's go. Let's do it.
As they say at a tennis match, quiet, please.
The mics don't work over this kind of sound. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There is no further business, Mr. Chair.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
As is customary. Do you have any speakers?
Fred Holman has to come up.